Okay, so we're in the Eco Asset series. We've just had a Jamnya Sustainable Housing meeting, 2nd of October, discussing borers in the... November? It's 2nd of November. Oh, that's it's late. We're discussing borers in the roofing structure, the bamboo roofing structure. And we've had Sarita join us tonight, which has been really good because she's got some fantastic IPM, Integrated Pest Management knowledge, and she's an agricultural scientist. We also had Paul brief us on where the project was up to, and site team and co tell us what's happened on that last trip, and John update us on his June trip. So we've got a few ideas about where to from here. Options are treat the bamboo in the roof as it is, or replace it with a better pre-treatment. And Paul, do you want to tell us about pre-treatment? What we could have done or what we would do if we were replacing bamboo? It's a serious face.
I'm not well versed in what to do, but there are processes for pre-treating the bamboo before it goes up. So it'd be good for the next trip to investigate what's locally appropriate and do that at the same time as demonstrating how to treat, or actually treating the bamboo that's already been put up.
The one that we've learned about tonight from Sarita, probably that we didn't know so much about, was submerging it in copper sulfate bath, which is a lot shorter time, 1 week, compared with if you put in the river, it's got to be in for 6 weeks, washing out the carbohydrates, whatever it is. So that's a new technique that we hadn't known. It doesn't need running water, it just needs to be soaked in copper sulfate bath. So that's a lot easier technique than what were trying before. So that's a good new technique we've learned.
Or pumping copper sulfate through the tubes when they're young.
Forcing it through.
And also neem
oil. Neem oil's the...
So I'll introduce that. The other discussion we had about was treating the bamboo that's in the roof as it is, bearing in mind that we've got drill holes in each of the chambers at the moment, which might come in handy. And the suggestion is we use neem oil and or borax.
Or copper sulfate. Copper sulfate solution, or neem oil as is straight, with a bit of, if you want to use the neem oil, which is concentrated, you can dilute it up to about 70-80% with another oil. And I would suggest castor oil because of the viscosity. People, not other insect or other things get into it. So you can mix it up. If you use any other oils, which is the eating oil, then you start having other issues. So you would rather use castor oil. And neem basically is used for yongs for many years, and neem disrupts the growth cycle of the insect. The insect, which is a borer, would go from egg, larvae, pupae, and adult. And the egg, larvae, pupae, adult is where, when they are eggs, they don't eat. Larvae and pupae is when they start eating. Adults are when they want to emerge or migrate. So that's when they're coming out of this bamboo place where they've finished eating and finished their cycles. So you treat them so that they would disrupt the cycle if there's any eggs in there. They've come up to the larval stage. They will not continue further. So the neem actually disrupts the whole mating cycle, and the eggs which are laid will be dull or dead eggs, So therefore you disrupt the cycle using neem oil. And neem oil will be useful for any insect, for that matter, because it's a broad acre, broad treatment for neem oil.
So note that the borers are in the bamboo structure coming out, rather than protection from them outside coming
inside,
in.
They're already in there when the bamboo was put up.
Yeah, most probably they've come from the green bamboo, which was being used as green bamboo, and then they have not treated it, and then the borers are in there either as from the egg being laid in, and they've gone through the cycle and they're just dispersing out, or as what was said, because it's varnished, and the bamboo is not breeding anymore, I need to find another house. So I need to get out of there in a hurry. So that's where they're coming up.
Great.
I, as in the insect.
So in terms of a timeline for the solution, Noel and I are travelling next week with a group of education students, also with Danny from Agari Farm and Irene's partner from Put Your Hands Together and Lyndon. So we can work on identifying issues, asking questions, and potentially treating it with neem oil, if that's a good solution. And then with a view to a more comprehensive workshop in April next year, which will include brick press and brick making in Pal, and potentially treatment of bamboo as a week-long workshop with locals and participants. That's where we're up to.
But before you arrive in Pal, you'll have to go shopping and purchase some neem oil or borax.
You would get that in Pune.
In Pune, yeah.
Definitely, no problems, because I was looking at it. You would get something like that in Pune. Pune, or you call it Pune or Mumbai. From Mumbai, you're traveling to Pune.
Yeah.
And from Pune, if you go to Bhusawal, yes and no, but Pune, yes, definitely.
Can we get a delivery?
We'll send a message to people
The
of
local
Pal
people.
and say, can we get neem oil? There are organic gardeners,
Yes,
organic farmers
over there,
close to Pal,
then you would probably get them.
and I'm sure that they would use neem oil. I've seen them processing something to make an insect spray, and I didn't take notice of what it was, but I suspect it was probably neem.
Oh, great.
So I suspect.
This is why I said to you, even if you do not have, you can actually use neem, fresh neem leaves to do the other bits and pieces.
Great. Thanks, John.